explaining the mysticism in Ion. On the surface level, Socrates interrogates the rhapsode, the performer, Ion, about his skill in reciting the poet Homer. Socrates pushes Ion to admit that he doesn't truly know the subjects Homer describes, war, medicine, navigation, but is instead inspired. Ion can move an audience not because of his rational knowledge, but because of divine influence. The mystical core, divine possession, euthosiasmos. Socrates suggests Ion is like a magnetized iron ring. The muse inspires Homer, Homer inspires Ion, Ion inspires the audience. Each is a link in a chain of divine energy. The rhapsode is possessed. Euthosiasmos is having the God within, not rationally in control. And the mystical idea here is that true art comes from beyond human reason. Poetry is revelation. Ion admits he can't perform well outside of Homer. It's not a learned craft, but a kind of trance. Socrates flips this into the notion that poets and performers are vessels. They reveal truths that they themselves do not understand. Mystical idea here is that human beings can be conduits for higher truths without conscious awareness. And then this is a transcendence of rational knowledge. This dialogue contrasts techne, which is craft knowledge, with mania, it's divine madness. Ion has no techne, yet he moves souls. This anticipates Plato's broader theme that some forms of truth are accessible only through a non-rational, ecstatic state. The mystical idea here is that real inspiration is supra-rational. It's connected to divine madness. An esoteric reading of this, Ion is almost a proto-theory of mystical transmission. The audience participates in the ecstatic state through performance. It also ties to shamanic and prophetic models, where inspiration is less about intellect and more about having been seized by something beyond. Why does all this matter? Plato is skeptical of poetry elsewhere in the Republic, Book 10, but Ion shows that he recognized the numinous power of inspired art. Mystically, it suggests human beings are not just thinkers, but receivers of divine influx. Knowledge isn't always reasoned. It can come as possession, vision, or rapture. So in short, the mysticism of Ion lies in the vision of poetry as divine possession, a chain of inspiration flowing from the gods through poets to audiences, bypassing rational craft entirely. This is one of Plato's earliest explorations of divine madness, how art bypasses reason and flows like energy through people. I've tied this to books I've read about the brain and how it operates. You have a left hemisphere and a right hemisphere, and the way they both operate is very, very different from one another. For more exploration on that, see The Master and His Emissary by Ian McGilchrist, Dr. Ian McGilchrist.